3, 2, 1. Bonjour, 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 bonjour mes amis, bonjour mes amis, salut, 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 salut mes amis, salut mes amis, bonjour, ça va très bien, bravo! Well, I hope last week you enjoyed hearing all about the special day in France that's celebrated, can you remember? Le 14 juillet, the 14th of July. And you remember, in England we call it Bastille Day, but in France they called it La Fête Nationale. So it's almost Bastille Day, so I'm wondering if we can go to France to go and see. So here's where we live, near London, in England, the United Kingdom. And where's France? Let's see if we can find it. Well, I found Germany, and here's there's Spain, but look, here's France. Oh, it's quite close, but there's some water in between us. How can we get to France? Let's have a think. How could we get there? Well, maybe we could go by boat. Maybe we could go by plane. Let's find out how else we can get there. So I want to visit Paris, which is the capital city of France. But how can I get there? Have a look at my friend Barnaby Bear, and let's watch Barnaby and see how he gets to France.
Day trip to Paris. Use the arrow buttons to move forwards and backwards through the story. When you see the mouse button, click on it to see something happen. Barnaby Bear was excited. His friend Liz had invited him to go to Paris for the day with her family.
It looks like a long way to go for a day,
said Barnaby. Not really, Barnaby. We're going by train, said Liz. Liz explained that the train goes straight through a tunnel dug under the English Channel.
Gosh, that's fantastic! I hope it doesn't leak,
exclaimed Barnaby. Barnaby went to the bank to get some money to spend in France.
I'm going to France for the day,
said Barnaby. Then you'll need some euros. This is the money used in France and Europe, replied the cashier. On the day of the trip, Barnaby arrived early at the station with Liz's family and checked in at the desk.
Can I see your passport and your train ticket, please?
Asked the check-in assistant.
Please don't laugh at my passport photo,
said Barnaby. Then they made their way to the platform and found their seats on the train.
It's a very long train, isn't it, Barnaby?
Remarked Liz. Barnaby agreed.
Yes, it is. The engine must be very powerful.
Barnaby and Liz looked out of the window as the train travelled to Folkestone and then entered the Channel Tunnel. Soon the train was out of the tunnel and speeding through the French countryside at up to 186 miles an hour.
We're going so fast, it looks like those cars are not moving,
exclaimed Barnaby. The train arrived at the Gare du Nord station in Paris. Barnaby and Liz's family took the metro.
The metro is the underground railway. It goes all over Paris,
said Liz.
It's much quicker than walking,
said Barnaby. At the Ile de la Cité, they walked around the Notre Dame Cathedral, looking at the boats cruising along the River Seine.
The Ile de la Cité is an island in the middle of Paris. The river flows past on both sides,
said Liz. Barnaby exclaimed,
Look over there at the sides of those boats!
lunchtime, Barnaby and Liz bought a sandwich with their euros.
Gosh, these sandwiches are very big.
Exclaimed Barnaby. They're called baguettes, Barnaby, explained Liz. After lunch, they walked alongside the river to the famous art gallery called the Louvre.
It doesn't look very big, does it?
Said Barnaby.
Oh, Barnaby, that's just the entrance. The gallery is huge,
replied Liz. Inside, they saw one of the most famous paintings in the world, the Mona Lisa, by the artist Leonardo da Vinci.
I'm sure she's smiling at me,
said Barnaby.
Barnaby, she smiles at everyone,
replied Liz. Leaving the Louvre, they caught a bateau bus and travelled by river to the Eiffel Tower.
There are lots of bridges around Paris,
said Barnaby.
That's because the River Seine goes right through the middle of the city,
explained Liz. Barnaby and Liz looked up at the Eiffel Tower.
It's very, very tall, isn't it?
said Barnaby.
You can walk up if you like. It's only 1,652 steps,
said Liz. They decided to travel to the top in the lift. The view from the top was fantastic. They could see the whole of Paris below. Their last stop of the day was to Montmartre, where an artist painted a picture of them.
I hope this picture is better than my passport photograph,
commented Barnaby. Soon it was time for dinner, so they found a little cafe and looked at the menu.
They eat things in France that we're not used to,
said Liz.
Yes. I don't know if I could eat frog's legs,
replied Barnaby. Barnaby decided to have an omelette.
That was fantastic,
said Barnaby.
Oh, Barnaby, you've learnt a French word,
exclaimed Liz. Back on the train, Barnaby and Liz soon fell asleep. They had really enjoyed their trip to Paris. The end. Click on Barnaby to start his Parisian adventure again.
Super! Well, I hope you enjoyed my story of Barnaby Bear. So do you remember how Barnaby Bear got to France? You're right. He went on a special train called the Eurostar. And it goes under the water to France through a tunnel. Well, I thought maybe we could have a go at riding on this train to get to France. But it goes ever so quickly. So you better be ready. We might be rocking a little bit because it goes so fast. Are you ready to see if you can join up my train? Here we go. Let's go to Paris in France. Oh my goodness, look how fast we're going. Oh, rocking a little bit through the tunnel. Wow, 186 miles an hour. That's super, super quick. That's about twice as fast as your car might go. Oh, we're on our way to Paris now. Super! So, we've now got to Paris. and let's see what we can see in Paris. What's this? Ah, le drapeau tricolore. It's my tricolore flag with my 3 colours. That's how I know I've arrived in France, because that's my French flag. Blue, white and red. Here we are in Paris, the capital city of France. And this big river that Barnaby Bear visited is called the Seine. And you can take a boat called a bateau mouche. You can take a bateau mouche all the way down the Seine and see all the sights in Paris. Can you remember what this famous landmark is called? You're right. In French, we call it La Tour Eiffel, or we might say in English, the Eiffel Tower. Now, the Eiffel Tower was built to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Bastille Day. So it was built in 1889, a long time ago. And it was built on the ground where the very first Bastille Day celebrations took place. It's the tallest building in Paris. And do you know what? It takes somebody who's quite fit and active 45 minutes to walk up the stairs to the very, very top. I wonder if you can guess how many steps it has. What do you think? Maybe 100? Do you think it's got more? Maybe 300? Should we find out? It has 1,710 steps. Wow, imagine climbing all those steps. 1,710. And it has 108 different floors. It's a big, tall building. So I thought you might like now to pause my video and make your own Eiffel Tower. Hopefully you've got a picture of it in front of you, and then you're going to use straws to decorate and make your Tour Eiffel, your Eiffel Tower. I look forward to seeing them when you've finished. Pause the video now. Have fun. Super! Well, I hope you had fun making your Tour Eiffel, your Eiffel Towers. Shall we see what Paris is like on Bastille Day? Here's our Tour Eiffel, and you can see all the fireworks going off around it. Let's have a look and see. I hope the fireworks don't make you jump. Let's see how they celebrate Bastille Day in Paris. Oh, there's the Tour Eiffel. That was a loud one. Wow, doesn't that look amazing? So what else might we see in Paris? Well, there's lots of famous places to go and see in Paris. For example, you might go and visit the Arc de Triomphe, a very famous monument. It's called, we would say in English, the Arch of Triumph. This is a very famous cathedral called Notre Dame. Very sadly, you might have seen in the news last year that this cathedral had a fire and lots of it was destroyed, but they're rebuilding it. So Notre Dame Cathedral.
And here we have a very famous art gallery called the Louvre. And again, this is a very famous building that you can see in Paris. So here's 3 famous buildings that you might find that you can visit in Paris. Arc de Triomphe, Notre Dame Cathedral and the Louvre. What else might happen in France? Well, every year in France there's a famous cycle race called the Tour de France, and the winner of each part of the race gets to wear a yellow top. So maybe in Paris you might see the cyclists cycling past in the Tour de France. Now France also have a very good football team, and they play at the Stade de France, is the stadium where they play in Paris. Maybe you've been to Disneyland in Paris. Lots of people go to France on holiday, and in the summer it's warm and there's lots of lovely beaches that you can go and visit in France. There's Euro Disney in Paris, and in the winter, if you want to go to France on holiday, there's lots of places to go skiing as well. So in the summer you can go and enjoy the lovely beaches, and in the winter times you can go and do some skiing. Well, I thought that it might be rather nice for you to have a think about a place you'd like to visit in Paris. We've talked about lots of different places today in Paris. You might want to visit the Eiffel Tower. You might want to visit the Notre Dame Cathedral. You might want to visit the Louvre, which is an art gallery that we saw Barnaby Bear go to, where he saw the picture of Mona Lisa. You might want to visit that. Or you might want to go and visit the big Arc de Triomphe. Well, on your piece of paper now, I'd like you to draw me a picture of what you'd like to visit in Paris, and maybe you could tell me why you'd like to go and visit it. I look forward to seeing your lovely work. 3, 2, 1. Au revoir la classe. Au revoir Madame Sou.